Sehlwile Mthwakazi Wamuhle silamukela njalo kwesinye isiqephu sethu sezindaba ngumsakazo we-Citizens Movement Radio namhla kungumvulo zili-18 kuNcwabakazi ngomnyaka ka-2025 olethulela indaba ngikhethiwe Chuma. Kwethamba phambili namhlanje silendima kanye lomlando kumele siudlale kusho uMongameli uChamisa. Umnangagwa uxwayiswa ngokugedulwa kombuso. Umnangagwa wedlulisela phambili isihlalo sokuba umgcinisihlalo wenhlanganiso ye-SADC kanti njalo uxwayiswa ukuba adlulisele phambili lombuso ekhaya. Nanzi indaba zethu ngokugcweleyo. Umongameli wabantu Advocate Nelson Chamisa uthi ulomlando kanye lendima okumele ayidlale ukuze alethe utshintsho. Uye wathi kuningi okukhangelelwe kuye njengoba ethola usekelo kanti njalo abantu ithemba labo balibeke kuye. Ohlaziya ngezepolitiki uSimba Mkori uye watshela umsakazo we-Citizens Movement Radio ukuba abantu babeke ithemba labo kumongameli uChamisa. Lokhu kufakazwa ngabantu abangaphezu kwe-2 million abamvotelayo kukhetho olwedlulileyo. uMkori uyawakhuthaza umongameli uChamisa kanye labebandla eliphikisayo ukuba babumbe umbuthano oqinileyo kanti njalo bafune ukuthi kutshintshwe ukuqhutshwa ngendlela okuqhutshwa ngayo ukhetho kusasemasinya. Usaziwayo kwezokuthengiselana u-Obed Masaraure usexwayise umongameli webandla leZANU-PF Emmerson Mnangagwa ukuba sekungaba lokugedulwa kombuso nxa engasadluliselanga umbuso komunye umuntu. Encwadini evele emphakathini ayibhalele uMnangagwa, uMasaraure uyawaxwayisa ukuba kuza kuphinda lokho kwenzeka ngomnyaka ka-2017 lapho kwabakhona ukugedulwa kombuso nxa uMnangagwa engehluleka ukuba akhethe lo ozakusala ebambe intambo. Ekhuluma lo msakazo we-Citizens Movement Radio, uMasaraure uthi inkulumo ezilobudedengu ezikhulunywa ngabasekeli bakaMnangagwa zokuba kudluliswe ukhetho lomnyaka ka-2028 luphambanisa ukuthula lokuphepha elizweni. Ake sizweni okaMasaraure echasisa.
Emmerson Mnangagwa should not drag us back to 2017. He should open his party to succession politics. He should allow the members of his party to freely choose a successor to his office. We are worried because the ZANU-PF party is conflicted with our state. And when there is uncertainty in ZANU-PF, we know there will be uncertainty in the state. And at the end of the day, we are worried with what happened in 2017, where the livelihoods of our people are affected by the implosion of the ruling party. So that's why we continue to insist that indeed a transition from Emmerson Mnangagwa should be handled better. But we know that it might be too late for Emmerson himself to handle the crisis, since maybe he dragged it too long. He can look across the Limpopo and see what his colleague Ramaphosa has managed to do to open up the nation to a dialoguing process, when Zimbabwe should go through a process of national dialogue. And that dialogue should be able to capture the hopes and aspirations of the people. And then such hopes and aspirations should be used to reform the state. ZANU-PF on its one has proven beyond doubt that they have no capacity to reform the state. 45 years post-independence, they still maintain a neo-colonial state. So it is now incumbent upon Emmerson Mnangagwa to set up a national transitional council that can work hand in glove with this government in reforming state institutions towards the conclusion of his term. This is the best way for him to rescue his legacy. If he chooses to ignore this particular advice, he might destroy his own legacy. Of course, his legacy has always been in jeopardy because of looting and other vices. But this is a moment for him to do good for his name and protect his interests and the interests of his families and his family and allies.
Umongameli webandla leZANU-PF obusa ngodlakela u-Emmerson Mnangagwa kuliviki uye wadlulisela phambili isikhundla sokuba ngumgcinisihlalo wenhlanganiso ye-SADC kumongameli waseMadagascar u-Andry Rajoelina emhlanganweni obubanjwe e-Antananarivo. Kusenjalo, isiphathamandla sebandla eliphikisayo uStephen Sarkozy Chuma uye watshela umsakazo we-Citizens Movement Radio ukuba uMnangagwa kumele athole isifundo ngesikhathi sabambe intambo zokuba umgcinisihlalo wenhlanganiso ye-SADC yokuba adlulisele phambili umbuso lapha ekhaya kulokuthi afune njalo ukubusa okwehlandla lesithathu okungekho esisekelweni sombuso. Uchuma uye wathi ngokuphikisana lalokho okukhishwa ngumabonakude okhuluma lapha ekhaya othi uMnangagwa ngesikhathi engumgcinisihlalo wenhlanganiso ye-SADC konke bekuqhutshwa kuhle kanti khona bekulihlazo. Ake sizweni okaChuma ekhuluma.
Yes, this past weekend we witnessed Emmerson Mnangagwa handing over the SADC chairmanship to Madagascar President Andry Rajoelina. This is not something new because SADC protocols and statutes are very clear that after serving 1 year, a country has to pass over the SADC chairmanship. Here in Zimbabwe, expect Emmerson Mnangagwa to do the same when it comes to the end of his tenure as the president, which is clearly stipulated in the Constitution of Zimbabwe that the president must serve 2 terms, and Emmerson Mnangagwa's 2 terms are coming to an end in 2028. So this issue of saying 2030, Emmerson Mnangagwa must be there is pure nonsense, and we expect Emmerson Mnangagwa to have learned from SADC that there's no harm in handing over power and that it doesn't kill to hand over power. So we expect Emmerson Mnangagwa do the honorable thing in 2028 and leave office peacefully. But we're also shocked by state media's reports that Emmerson Mnangagwa was the most successful SADC chairperson. But we all know that Emmerson Mnangagwa was the worst when it comes to dealing with the issues that are affecting the SADC region as a whole. For example, in DR Congo, there was a crisis in Eastern DRC in Goma, but Emmerson Mnangagwa failed to provide peace in that region, to the extent that the Emir of Qatar had to summon Paul Kagame and Felix Tshisekedi to Doha so that they can discuss about the peace initiatives in that region. To the extent that even Donald Trump, as wicked as he is, had to forge a peace accord in Washington so that the crisis in DR Congo can be put to bed. In a normal SADC bloc, we expect that this issue was supposed to be dealt with in the region amicably, but to the extent that it was discussed in 2 continents, it shows that Emmerson Mnangagwa had failed to deal with it at regional level. This is why we say Emmerson Mnangagwa has done more harm to the region than anything. For example, in Namibia, in Botswana, in Mozambique, Emmerson Mnangagwa was interfering with the electoral process of that country, which is absurd from a SADC chairperson.
Usodolobha wakobulawayo David Coulthard uthi inkohlakalo yesidalwe libandla leZANU-PF emadolobheni eminyakeni engamashumi-40 edlulileyo idinga ukuba abantu babambane basebenzisane ndawonye ukuze izinto zibuyele esimeni sabo. Ekhuluma kungxoxiswano abelayo le-The True Patriot, usodolobha uCoulthard uthi uhulumende ujonge ukuba amadolobho ehluleke ngoba ephuza ukubanika imali ngalokho kufakwa isisekelo sombuso ukuba kumele bathole imali yabo emadolobheni. Uyawaveza ukuba idolobho lakobulawayo liyaphoqelelwa ukuba libhadalele amanzi kwinhlanganiso yezinwa emadamu azakhela yona idolobho. Ngodaba olufananayo lwabantu abathengisayo, usodolobha uCoulthard uthi abantu abathatha indawo ngenkani abasebenzisana lebandla leZANU-PF baletha ubudedengu edolobheni ngoba benikeza abantu indawo zokuthengisela endaweni ezingavunyelwayo. Ake sizweni.
So I'm delighted that you've raised that example because it is, in fact, one of the best examples of what we're talking about, the need to allow genuine devolution. Let's just look at the history. In the past, city councils were able to retain vehicle licensing fees, which was earmarked for the maintenance, upgrades and construction of new roads. So every person who got their vehicle license in the city of Bulawayo would pay that money, and it would go to the city council. When government centralized, that money went to Zinara, and now we have to apply to Zinara for a fair allocation of money back. And, for example, this past year, Zinara only allocated approximately $2.5 million to the city council. Just to put that in context, the city council has over 2,000 kilometers of roads within the city, and it costs a minimum of $15 million per annum just to maintain the existing roads. And so this amount of money is nowhere near just to maintain existing roads, never mind to build new roads. And even worse than that, the money was paid to us in local currency. Now, the problem that we have with road construction is that most of the materials, and certainly nearly all of the construction equipment, has to be imported and paid for in US dollars. And we find that it's bad enough being paid as little as $2.5 million, the equivalent of $2.5 million US dollars in ZiG. But it's made worse when one thinks that we then have to reconvert that money back to US dollars to buy asphalt, to buy bitumen, to buy caterpillars, to buy graders. And so it has meant at the end of the day that we have not been able to maintain roads. We also feel that there has been an unfair allocation. We feel that, we know that we contribute, motorists in Bulawayo contribute far more to Zinara than we get back. And so there's an inequitable national distribution of funds. But it's not just roads. The same applies to Zinwe. The city of Bulawayo between the 1940s and the 1990s built its own dams. It built 5 dams. Lower Nmema, Upper Nmema, Inyankuni, Mzungwani, and Nsiza were all built by the city, paid for by residents, but those dams were effectively taken over by Zinwe. And we now have to buy water from Zinwe, which gets its waters from dams that were built through money paid for by city residents. Our view is that is also not correct. If we build infrastructure, we should be able to benefit from that infrastructure and not have to pay a third party. And there are a variety of other examples of the centralization of power, which hinders our ability to increase our budgets, our local budgets, and also makes for often lengthy delays in getting certain things done.
Usodolobha owaziwayo kweleruwa uJoseph Mutangadura uye wadutshulwa ngabantu bembamba inkunzi kanti kasekho emhlabeni, lokhu kuvezwe ngamapholisa. Imbiko evelayo ibika uMatangadura lo bengumnikazi wendawo eyaziwa kakhulu ngokuthi Mutangadura Hideout ebisemgwaqweni weHarare leMutare. Uye wadutshulwa ngamasela izolo eplazini lakhe laseLinchan Estate. Amacala ukubanjwa kwabantu inkunzi njalo bedutshulwa asandile elizweni, kanti eminyakeni edlulileyo abomthetho bebebandakanyeka kulawa macala.
My name is Eugene Swela. I've known Mr. Mutangadura since the late 90s when I was still in Glenview. That time I was his client, and I saw in him a very hardworking man, a hands-on man, was very honest. I admired his work ethic as his client, So I'll say since those 13 years, he has been my mentor. So, those were the years when I was still based in Glenview. Then later on, I heard that he actually bought a farm in Rua, we had expanded this business to include abattoirs and butcheries as well. That particular time, the roles were reversed. That's when he became my client. And I'll say with confidence, that is the man who raised me. He's the first man to promote my business in packaging. I'll supply him with bales for his abattoir for 10 kg meat and 5 kgs as well. And he'll pay me in good time without any hassles. I'll describe him as a man who was a good negotiator, very honest and very upright. My wife, my daughter, and myself, we became part of the furniture at Mtangadura, as we supplied him his packaging needs for his abattoir and his butcheries as well. I expanded my packaging business also into paper, where I'll supply him with paper packaging for his chickens. And he was a person who actually promoted me in this regard. When I left Inyani Papers and started my own business, he's the first person to actually promote my business through the plastic packaging and also the paper packaging. I'm so gutted when I heard that he passed on this morning. I only spoke with him last week when we were discussing about the artwork for his packaging. We're working on the artwork for his brown bags for chickens, and I believe even that artwork is on his desk right now. So I'd like to say to the Mtangadura family, may his soul rest in peace. To me, he was a mentor, a hardworking, upright man, was very honest. I've lost a mentor, and may his soul continue to rest in peace. But I know that, his legacy through the people I worked with at Mtangadura, especially his son, Ephraim, were raised by the right person, and actually they'll continue to, to safeguard his legacy. That I can do with confidence, because I know that Mtangadura Holdings is in safe hands with the guys that he trained, especially his son, Ephraim. I'm so gutted, and I would like to say once again, may his soul continue to rest in peace.
Ipolisa ebelisaziwa ngokuhlukumeza abantu uCrispin Maketenge kubikwa usephila kanzima. Ikhansila likaWard 16 eHarare uDanford Ngatsiore uthi uMaketenge oyisakhamizi esabelweni sakhe ubesaziwa kakhulu ngokuhlukumeza amalunga ebandla eliphikisayo ngesikhathi sombuso kaRobert Mugabe. Uye wakhuthaza abomthetho ukuba bangavunywa ukusebenziswa nguhulumende ukuba bahlukumeze izakhamizi ukuze bavukele umbuso wabo obusa ngodlakela ngoba ngokuya kwesikhathi baza kubalahla. Umthungameli webandla le-Economic Freedom Fighters kwele South Africa uJulius Malema usekhuthaze izizalwane zaseZimbabwe ukuba ziyedinga umsebenzi elizweni labo, hatshi ukudinga kwele South Africa. Ekhuluma emhlanganweni abelawo ngomgqibelo eseShego kwele Polokwane, uMalema ukhuthaze ukuba kuqhashwe abazalwa kwele South Africa lapho kulezinga eli-60 kanye lengxenye ekhulwini labantu abasha abangasebenziyo. Uye wachasisa ukuba izizalwane zaseZimbabwe akumelanga zincitshwe umsebenzi, kodwa kumele zifuqe ukuyadinga umsebenzi elizweni labo. Inkulumo kaMalema isitshintshile kule nkulumo akayethula ngomnyaka ka-2022 lapho wayekhuthaza khona ukuba kuqhashwe izizalwane zaseZimbabwe iloba kumele kuqakathekiswe abakuleyo ndawo. Owayedlalela iqembu leCaps United u-Alois Punjira uye wangena engozini yomgwaqo emgwaqweni weRusape Nyanga izolo. uPunjira ongalimalanga kakhulu uphuthunyishelwe esibhedlela saseRusape lapho afike elatshwa wasesiya ekhaya. Kusenjalo abantu abane balahlekelwe imiphefumulo yabo ngemva kokuba imoto ebebehamba ngayo iye yatshayana lemota enkulu ebholohweni laseChinoyi. Imigwaqo yelizwe eminingi ayikho esimeni esihle, kanti njalo isiqede imiphefumulo eminingi ngenxa yokunganakekelwa kwemigwaqo okwenziwa libandla leZANU-PF kanye lohulumende walo. Uhulumende usemisile okwesikhashana ukuhanjiswa kwezifuyo kanti njalo sekhiphe imithi ezinkulungwane ezingama300 ukuze kwenqatshelwe umkhuhlane we-foot and mouth osukhona. Umkhuhlane lo kubikwa usukhona ezindaweni ezifana leGutu, ingxenye yaseMasvingo kanye leChivu. Lokhu sekuphoqelele uhulumende ukuba athathe inyathelo. Abomthetho bathi bahlose ukuba bavikele ukuba kube lesimo esifana lese South Africa lapho umkhuhlane lo usuphambaniswe khona ukuhanjiswa lokuthengiswa kwenyama. Izolo izinkulungwane lezinkulungwane zezizalwane zase-Israel zibambe impikisho izwe lonke lapho bezifuna kuqedwe impi yaseGaza njalo kukhululwe labo ababanjiweyo yiHamas. Impikisho le ibiqoqwe yi-Hostages and Missing Families Forum kanye le-October Council. Labo abebebhikisha bebevale imigwaqo emikhulu ehlanganisa i-Aviv leJerusalema kanti njalo bayahlangana e-Hostages Square kwele Tel Aviv lapho kuphakanyiswe khona iflag ebifakwe ubuso balabo bantu ababanjiweyo. Abebebhikisha babengabantu abaningi kakhulu eminyakeni esedlulile, lokhu okwenze kwagcina kuboshwe abantu abangama38 ngemva kokubhekana lamapholisa. Imdeni yalabo bantu ababanjiweyo bakhuthaze uhulumende ukuba aqhakathekise ingxoxiswano kulokuthi balwe eGaza. Ngesikhangele kwezemidlalo, iqembu leDynamos selinqobe amahlandla elandelana ngokwakuqala kule season ngemva kokuba benqobe iKwekwe United 3-0 emidlalweni odlalelwe enkundleni ye-Ascot kweleGweru izolo. Nansi eminye imiphumela yemidlalo edlalwe ngempelaviki. iScotland 2, ZPC Kariba 1, Highlanders 0, Till 1-2, Caps United 1, Yada 2, Triangle 2, FC Platinum 0, Mons 0, Simbapora 1, Chicken Inn 0, Manika Diamonds 0, Ngezi Platinum 1, Bikita Minerals 1, Green Fuel 0, Herentals 1. Ilizwe laseZambia selikhitsiwe emncintiswaneni yeChan eqhubekayo ngemva kokuba benqotshwe ilizwe laseKenya 1-0 kanti iCentral African Republic yona layo iza kubuyela ekhaya ngemva kokuba zibe ngujikilobhanqa leTanzania. iMadagascar yona iza kudlulela phambili ngemva kokuba idlale yanqoba iBurkina Faso 2-1. iMorocco yona iye yanqoba iDRC 3-1 ukuze labo bathole indawo kuhlandla elilandelayo. Abavikeli besicoco iLiverpool iye yeza emuva ukuba inqobe 4-2 emidlalweni wabo wokuqala kulisizini abawudlalele eBournemouth ngoLwesihlanu. Nansi eminye imiphumela ye-English Premier League edlalwe ngempelaviki. iAston Villa 0, Newcastle 0, Brighton 1, Fulham 1, Tottenham 3, Burnley 0, Sunderland 3, West Ham 0, Wolves 0, Manchester City 4, Nottingham Forest 3, Brentford 1, Chelsea 0, Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. Ukuziphetha lezi indaba kumsakazo weCitizens Movement Radio nanze bezihamba phambili. Silomlando kanye lendima okumele sidlale kusho uMongameli uChamisa. uMnangagwa uxwayiswa ngokugedulwa kombuso. uMnangagwa udlulisela phambili isihlalo sokuba mgcinisihlalo wenhlanganiso yeSADC kanti njalo ukhuthazwa ukuba adlulise umbuso ekhaya. Siziphetha lapha lezi indaba.